Warning: Halloween haunt at King's Dominion contains blood, fog effects, flashing lights, creepy creatures, and a spooky lantern that is a little bit overpriced for what you get, but you're still probably going to want to buy it anyway because somehow it turns out that it's actually a lot of fun. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, we're back at King's Dominion for their edition of Haunt. We are going to look at the houses, the exterior of the houses, because unfortunately they won't allow us to bring our camera in to record the houses. But we'll be looking at daytime and nighttime editions of the scare zones. We'll be looking at some of the special food options that they have, and we'll also be looking at their special haunt merchandise. Here, this year, they have 6 different haunted houses, 2 of them outdoor, 4 of them indoor, and 5 scare zones. So we have a lot to get to. Let's go take a look at everything they have. Of course, like every year, King's Dominion has a giant King's Dominion haunt sign greeting you just as you enter the park. Here's a quick look at the Halloween haunt map. You can see the dates are until November 3rd this year, starting at 7 p.m. They have things spread all throughout the park, going all the way up to Twisted Timbers and heading all down through the park. And then down here is a key. They have 2 outdoor mazes, 4 indoor mazes, 2 shows, and 5 scare zones. So there's a list of everything. And like with most haunted events, King's Dominion Haunt does not allow a re-entry after 6 p.m. as Jen's showing you there. Quick look at some of the haunt merchandise at the front of the park. They have this hoodie and t-shirt with the same design here. They also, one of the special features of this park is they have this lantern here that you can buy. The lantern is $39.99, and it's not just any lantern, it's interactive. According to the signage, it says, "Hidden secrets await you in the fog. The Gravedigger's lantern feeds on the energy of 1,000 fears, and when brought within the proximity of cursed locations, it will react in strange and unpredictable ways." So we're definitely going to have to check this out and see how exactly it works around the park. They also have this giant haunt bat here. We saw a similar bat design at Dorney Park, except it was the kid-friendly Tricks and Treats version. This one actually says Halloween Haunt at King's Dominion on here. The wings can un-velcro together, so you can un-velcro apart so you can spread them like this bat right here. There are a couple of different designs of haunt beanies. That design and this design. The beanie is $19.99. They have a simplistic haunt mug. There's nothing on the back side, just black, so it's just the Haunt at King's Dominion logo here. They have a fluorescent Home of Nightmares t-shirt. They also, this is the section that I hope Jen doesn't see, they have squishable witches, a little witch's cauldron that's squishable, and a little bat creature, I guess. It's got horns, so it's not exactly a bat, but it's sort of like a bat. Jen would definitely want these if she sees them, so I hope she stays away from this area. I knew we would see this at some point during our visit to King's Dominion. In the store in the front of the park, they have this chair you can sit in for a photo op. That's a really cool design. I like that they keep bringing this back every year. The chair suits Jen very well. A couple of other Halloween shirt designs. Which better have my candy for $19.99. They have this Black Widow spider hoodie, a red and black tie-dyed shirt which glows in the dark that also has the Black Widow spider on it. I believe the design should also be on the back. Yes, the Black Widow spider design on the back. Then they have a few assorted non-haunt specific Halloween decorations. Most of them are kind of goofy, not really meant to be taken seriously. I especially like this candy corn down here. Whether or not you're a fan of candy corn, how can you not like this? Jen found her new favorite thing. I'm assuming this is limited time. They have some Snoopy plushes holding a King's Dominion pumpkin. These little tiny Snoopy plushes, and I'll show you me holding on to it for size reference. These are $15. They're a little bit small, but not too bad of a price, I guess. Plaza Gifts has this primarily fall-themed window display here. One of the things they do advertise is their Nobu necklace. For $15.99, they have this happy little smiling ghost. I'm pretty sure the one at Dorney Park is the same design and $14.99, so it's $1 more here. KD Outfitters, also at the front of the park, has a really cool Halloween-themed window display. They're really hyping up their shirt with the jack-o'-lantern. Now they have them in both of their displays. That's a cool little skull chandelier over here. KD Outfitters also has a very similar selection of haunt merchandise to Plaza Gifts, except they have one additional thing that we didn't see over at Plaza Gifts. This particular Halloween haunt hoodie, very simple, just says Halloween haunt at King's Dominion. Black and orange color scheme. That hoodie is $54.99. Not directly haunt related, but if you haven't heard the news, after haunt is over, Project 305's name and color palette will be changing, and they'd have a couple of shirts still for sale that do have the Project 305 logo on them. So if you're interested in getting some limited time merchandise, you might want to hurry up and get it before haunt's over, before they change the Project 305 name. The small border margarita stand here, which probably won't be open until haunt officially starts, has a selection of specialty drinks. They have a purple people eater, which is a mocktail. They also have zombie juice and the A positive blood bag. Interesting that the A positive blood bag is type B blood. Of course, as always, International Street has their Halloween haunt banners up for this time of year. They also, as usual, have their haunt flags hanging from most of the buildings along International Street. At various places along International Street, they have decorations like these black umbrellas that have some kind of lacy fabric hanging off of them, almost like really dark jellyfish. There's nothing inherently wrong with the decorations, I'm just not sure exactly what they were trying to go for with this. They have this cool photo op near the Starbucks on International Street. These skeletal bat wings that you can stand in front of. What's especially cool is this exact same spot during Winterfest will have angel wings, so it's almost as if these wings turn into the angel wings. The world's greatest funnel cakes on International Street has the ghoulish funnel cake, which is a ghoul funnel cake, which I'm not entirely sure what a ghoul funnel cake is, but it has whipped cream and black cotton candy on there. So I'm curious if that black cotton candy actually has a flavor or not. They have this cool little photo op here that in front of what used to be the fountain when they have water in it. You can put yourself and your little one in a coffin. If your party is larger than 2, a little farther down International Street, they also have coffins made for 3. Out in front of the Berserker pirate ship, they have this little mortuary carriage here. No carriage horses, but they do have a couple of, or well, a single carriage driver who it appears didn't make it. The Southern Charm store on International Street got spooky this year. Actually, they've gotten spooky the last several years of haunt, but this is their window display for this year. It's pretty creepy. Honkus Ponkus. Adding some levity to this creepy display. The pizza parlor at the far end of International Street has a haunt exclusive food item, the Yardbird Pizza, which is oven-baked pizza topped with chicken, barbecue sauce, onions, and mozzarella cheese. Looks like it also comes with a couple of breadsticks. Also, if you want to take a look at all of the menu offerings, here's a QR code that you can check out. The International Street Beer and Wine, right past the pizza place, also has the same selection of specialty drinks that we saw down by the margarita stand. So we're most likely going to eat again during Haunt, but for our main meal for the morning, we're going to eat at the Grain and Grill, which is at the very end of International Street, as you can tell by the Eiffel Tower. The Grain and Grill has their menu right outside. They offer your choice of 4 entrees, though I believe the beef sirloin may not currently be on the menu. They also have a selection of sides here. There's 8 sides to choose from in total, which is a pretty nice variety. They also have your typical beverages, and they have a few desserts. So the Grain and Grill offers platters that you can get that come with an entree, a side, and 3 pieces of naan. So I ended up getting the chicken, the basmati rice, and you can see the slices of naan. It actually looks like there might be more than 3. I thought they gave you 3, but it looks like there's a few there. And Jen got the hoisin pork and the stir-fry vegetables, which it looks like there's a lot of squash, carrots. Yeah, Jen's moving the naan out of the way so you can get a better look. So there's the serving of vegetables. You can see Jen's serving size is pretty decent with her pork and her vegetables taking up the whole tray. However, hers and mine were both the same price, and you can see the discrepancy in serving size. If I move the bread out of the way, you can see they give you just a couple of teeny tiny little pieces of chicken for the price, and each of the platters costs $19.29, so you're paying almost $20 for this little tiny bit of food. So strongly recommend getting the pork if you're looking for the best bang for your buck, because it seems like they give you the biggest serving of that. So Jen said that she enjoyed the vegetables. She said there was a little bit of a seasoning on them, which added a lot of flavor to them. The actual pork itself, she said that it has a good sauce on it, and there were some tender pieces, but there's a lot of pieces in here that have been overdone, so they're not as tender or flavorful as they should be. Overall, she said that she would give her meal a C-. As far as my meal goes, the bread was actually really good. I enjoyed the bread, and I also enjoyed the flavor of the rice. But as I mentioned before, with the portion of the chicken being ridiculously small, the portion of the rice is also kind of misleading. The cup that they put it in looks really huge, but the bottom of it isn't all the way down at the bottom. There's actually like a false bottom, and it doesn't hold as much as it looks like it holds. So yet again, small portion of chicken, small portion of rice. If the rice was a larger portion, it probably might have saved it, because the flavor of the rice was really good. I really enjoyed it. The chicken had a nice char to it, but other than the char, there isn't really a whole lot of flavor to it. I'm not really a huge fan of that chicken. So overall, I would give this a C-. This is mainly, the C- is 99% because of the value. $19 for this small portion. The flavor of the rice, I think, is really the only thing that saved it from being an F, honestly, because this was a really disappointing meal. Jen has eaten here before. She had the shrimp that they have on the menu. She actually liked the shrimp, but not a fan of the chicken, and Jen's not a huge fan of the pork. So if you eat here, stick with the shrimp, we recommend. The Grain and Grill also has a Haunt exclusive offering of a huge zit. Yes, you heard me right, a huge zit. It is a croissant stuffed with a strawberry cookie dough and strawberry cream filling. And this is what it looks like. It looks like a huge zit.
We were going to go back once Haunt began to try the huge zit, but I guess King's Dominion must practice some really great skincare, because they had no huge zits to give us.
The Grain and Grill bar is another place where you can get some specialty drinks. Their variety is a little bit better, though. They do have the same 3 blood bags that we saw earlier, but they also have a couple of cocktails, the Toxic Waste and the I Want to Drink Your Blood, that comes with a syringe. The stage right across from the Eiffel Tower on the opposite side of the fountain from where you enter the park has 2 shows. I really like this decor they have for their backdrop here. One of the shows is the one that kicks off haunt for the night, Blood Rain. As you can see, one show daily at 7 o'clock, which is the time that haunt starts. The other show is a musical horror show called Conjure the Night that has 4 show times nightly, 7:30, 9, 10:30, and 11:30. So here's the lantern turned on. We're here in front of the stage getting ready for the Blood Rain show. It's already changed colors. As we were walking down International Street away from anything haunt related, it was orange, and it already flipped over to a blue color. On the bottom side, you can see there's a switch with 3 different options. The option here to the far left is the option that interacts with the shows or the various scare zones or houses that you can go through here at the park. The center option is what turns it off. The far right option is what will allow you to, if you run into someone else that's holding one of these lanterns, it will react in some way. We have yet to run into someone else with this lantern, and we also have it on the wrong setting, so we're not entirely sure at this time what that'll do if we run into someone else with one of these lanterns. So now as the show's about to start, the lantern is flashing red, so we'll see what happens when the show has actually begun.
Presenting ruler of the House of Darkness, mother of nightmares, high protector of all monstrum, commander of the armies of the Stygian abyss, leader of the netherworld, Her Royal Highness, Queen Majesty.
Tired of your feeble attempts to rain terror upon my dominion. I asked for blood. You gave me beauty. I asked for horror. You give me grace. I asked for chaos. You give me tranquility. Disgusting. You must right these failures. I bring you reinforcements! Spawned from the depths of hell! Given eternal life from my blood! My nightmare! Despair and destruction! Creatures shrouded in darkness, seeking havoc in mayhem. They wander the night and bring agony to all they encounter. Take their temper as your own and meet their malevolence. And to you mortals, prepare for your worst nightmares to become reality. The creatures of the night will walk among you, while venom fills your soul. And never forget. Sanguis Eternus Randomus! are the ones that lurk within your soul. And I won't rest until I unleash them. Beware, fearful mortals. Do you dare conjure the spirits of the night?
It invades my soul and torments my thoughts. But tonight, on this Hallows Eve, I will face these spirits and conjure the night. As the darkness deepens, terror lurks.
Things that attack me, the way I'm drinking.
couple of cool photo ops directly underneath of the Eiffel Tower. They have this guillotine you can stand in front of. Jen's in trouble. They also have this cool haunt background behind it too. And these stocks with Jen getting caught again with that haunt logo behind it. Jen's in trouble for a second time. Crossing this bridge into Old Virginia brings you to the Pumpkin Eater Scare Zone. I love that they have the walkway flanked with these pumpkin-headed creatures. I also really like their Scare Zone sign here. So let's take a quick look at some of the features of the Scare Zone in the daytime. Busch Gardens' new Stalker Street Scare Zone kind of reminded me of this area a little bit when I first saw it. Very pumpkin heavy, very farm-ish. They have this cool little well, little water tower up there. They even have some things that are covered up with tarps in the daytime. You don't often see these regional parks cover things up, so it's kind of interesting that they felt that they needed to censor some things in the morning. This is one of my favorite parts of the Scare Zone. They have this cool little house facade with the rotting pumpkins out in front.
That's what my eyeball.
A little produce stand, which seems kind of nice until you get up on it and see all the rotting food and the spider and rat. And the best part of this area, which will look even better at night, the skeletal carriage. I especially love the giant skeletons that have the candles sticking out of the tops of their heads. These are definitely not the skeletons you can get at Home Depot. Covered up by this giant curtain is the Masquerade Scare Zone. It's a very small scare zone going under this little foliagey archway here. It's all fancy, but covered by, at night it's covered by masqueraders who aren't all there, let's just say. This is a quick daytime look at it though. The daytime look is very similar to the nighttime look because it's kind of dark in here since this whole tunnel is covered. This feature is new. This big painting here, this definitely was not here last year. Nor was this one. So I'm glad we're getting a daytime look at it because I would have missed this at night, I'm sure. The scariest part of this whole scare zone, when it's really dark in here, are these statues that you don't know if they're real people or not. In the grassy patch across from Delirium, the giant spiders have returned, as have their clutches of eggs. That doesn't bode well for the Candy Apple Grove area of King's Dominion. That's a lot of giant eggs. I sure hope only giant spiders hatch out of here and not xenomorphs. The Country Kitchen Turkey Legs and Barbecue place has a couple of special haunt food items. A smoked buzzard leg, which is actually a smoked turkey leg with adobo dip, and also roasted corn, which is garlic parmesan dusted corn. I'm going to show both of them here. Instead of making a right after going through the Eiffel Tower, if you opt to go straight underneath the Eiffel Tower, you're greeted by the Uprising Scare Zone, which is essentially a graveyard. And you can probably guess what's in here. A bunch of zombies. So here's a daytime look at some of the elaborate tombstones that they have through here. Some great hiding spots for scare actors here. Let's hope a lot of them use these spaces to jump out at people. A little mausoleum over here. These bigger tombstones have a lot of last names on them, so it's not just general display. This is the Ash. This one is Jones over here. I have Wee May. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced, Wee May. This is really cool. If you're coming from the other direction, they have this facing the other way. And I really only have one word to describe this display. And at the far opposite end of the scare zone is this, what I assume is supposed to be a mausoleum, I guess. It's really cool. Has real plants on top of it too. Love the sculptures they have on here. I wanted to mention real quick that the antique cars, in years past, they've turned the track into a little spooky event that people used to love. For some reason, as of last year and continuing this year, they decided to end that. So if you haven't been here in a while and you remember the antique cars being spooky, you may be a little disappointed if you come here this year and find that it's not there anymore. Like the pizza parlor on International Street, Victoria's Pizza in Candy Apple Grove also has the Yardbird Pizza available. So you have a second option for this one. A little side note while we're in the area, Cactus Grove Burritos, some additional work has been done since the last time we were here. They put out a little bit of decoration here, some little fake cactuses out in the front for theming. And also they have a sign out in front talking about when Cactus Grove Burritos is finally going to open. Opening soon.
And in an update to the update, since this was recorded, Cactus Grove Burritos has now opened officially, and the Board of Burritos at the front of the park has closed.
This only takes up one side of the walkway through Candy Apple Grove, so you can avoid this scare zone entirely if you so choose, but half of Candy Apple Grove is the Cleaver Brothers Carnival. You walk through this great clowny archway and are greeted by this open mouth clown. If you don't like clowns, this is one of the spookier scare zones because they have these displays all throughout the area. This guy looks unhinged. They do have this cool little fortune teller booth, which normally there will be a fortune teller inside there that you can speak with for a few minutes. In years past, they used to give you skeleton keys if you bought the Fright Lane Pass, and they used to have a skeleton key room inside this cart back at that time. Now I think they just use it as a little bit of a decoration. I don't think it serves any real purpose for the area any longer. Oh, how cute. Twinsies. If you call this clown Four Eyes, is that still an insult? At first, this clown may seem scary, but don't misjudge him because he's just practicing for his role in Hamlet. King's Dominion has their version of Jack here. Different paint job than the one that they have at Dorney Park. He also will lift up, though, periodically throughout the night. So we're hoping we'll be over here in time to see him lift up tonight. Oh, I understand now. The clowns over here aren't creepy. They're just behaving that way because they're drunk. And speaking of drunk, there's this little mobile food truck bar tucked away in the backside of Cleaver Brothers Carnival. Their menu offers similar to what the Grain and Grill bar offers, with the 3 blood bags, the toxic waste, and the I want to drink your blood. But once they're open, we'll see for sure, but I believe they also have some canned beer available as well. The Apple Ida's funnel cakes back in the Cleaver Brothers Carnival also has the ghoulish funnel cake that we saw at the funnel cake place on International Street. So you have 2 options if you want to try this. This open clown mouth is double the fun because they have a couple of clowns here watching you as you enter this area of the scare zone. They added this big stage to Cleaver Brothers Carnival last year, I believe, maybe the year before. They will do a burlesque show periodically on this stage. So hopefully, again, like we said with the Jack lifting up, we're hoping we'll be here in time to catch this show as well tonight.
All right, this first song's called Tuning. No, that's 2 notes. That's not right. jokes. All right. We have a brand new song that we've never played before. We just handed the parts out. We're going to take a look at it. We'll get the show on the road. Bobby, bring us in, man. We're getting there. That's pretty close, but we're not playing with any soul. We play a little more soul. Can we try that again, guys? Just come on. Guys, come on. What's wrong with us tonight? We're not playing with any soul tonight. Don't you remember what Miss Lola did with the last band that played without soul? That's right. He made them soulless. You know, the people at Busch Gardens laughed at that joke. All right, everybody. He's gonna play it. We're gonna sing it, guys. Take it away, Jim. Whoa, hey, are you okay? Whoa, come on, come on. Bring us home, let's make sure that the rules are really fun. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the 2004 Ashland Burlesque Champions, the dancers of Boswell, the movers of Midlothian, the swingers of the South, the Lansing Widows. Put your hands together for the Blackwell Burlesque Show!
And then the very last scare zone that you come to, walking the way that we walk, is Site X, which is inside of the Jungle X-Pedition area. This scare zone kind of furthers the storyline of the area, which I think is really cool. It's mostly compacted around the flat rock here, which is a circular formation on the ground. Pretty much everything in the scare zone is around this area, which is good and bad. It's bad because it used to be more spread out, but it's also good because it's easy to not miss any scares because they're all compact around here. I like that they have this dig site right in the center. And then on the outside, they have sculptures representing the animals that are shown on the flat rock. They have the anaconda here. Straight ahead is, I believe, the monkey for Toonbeely. Around here they have the crocodile for Reptilian. And then across the way on the opposite side, they have the spider for Arachnidia. They also have this little tent, which I believe there'll be a strobe light here later tonight. This was kind of tucked away last year back in a corner of the scare zone. There's actually a creepy little person inside the tent. We'll have to revisit this later when it's darker. He wouldn't be so creepy if you didn't have a foot bone, a couple of feet bones and arm bones in here with him. The structure that actually has the Site X sign on it has other things inside that you can look at in the daytime, probably at nighttime too, though it might be too dark to really get a good look at them. But it's kind of cool, the level of detail that they put inside of such a small little building here. Out on the fringes of the Site X scare zone is this shipping container near the backlot stunt coaster back there. They are another one with a specialty drink menu, again with the blood bags, the toxic waste, and the I want to drink your blood. You always know it's Halloween haunt season when the Eiffel Tower is bathed in blood red. It's watching over the entire park with its big creepy red eyes. If you hang a right as soon as you enter the park and walk along International Street, the first house that you'll come to almost immediately on your right is Cornstalkers Blood Harvest. This one is a corn maze, essentially. Though you do start off in this little farmer's market building here, but from there you go outside into the corn to try to find your way away from the monsters that haunt you as you walk through. It's kind of cool how well you can see inside the farmer's market in the morning though. Look at that, they have a pumpkin patch, they have a corn maze, they have pony rides. You know, what could possibly go wrong? So Cornstalkers was great as always. That is, every year it's one of the scariest houses they have here. There are so many good hiding spaces. It's full of costumes that blend in with the corn so well, so great jump scares everywhere. We really love this house. And this year in particular, it did feel like it was a little bit devoid of scare actors compared to years past, but usually because of where this one's located, we hit it pretty early on, and this year we decided to save it for last so it'll be darker. That might have something to do with it, but either way we're a little bit disappointed there weren't as many scare actors, but the scare actors that were in there were incredible and we greatly enjoyed that one. It was a good one to save for last, and we have no regrets about waiting until the end of the night to go through it. After you cross under the Eiffel Tower, the road kind of forks and you can go 3 different directions. We're going to go to the right through Old Virginia. Going through Old Virginia brings you to the brand new Monstercon haunted house first. This is where No Vacancy Condemned used to be, the hotel, the haunted hotel house. Now they've turned it into a giant convention in what used to be the 4D theater. So I'm really excited to see what they do with this. Seems like it might be a mix of horror and comedy, but I don't know. I'm really looking forward to going through this. I really love this giant banner that they have hanging up in front of it. The only problem is if you try to take a picture of the giant banner, they have this nice big light pole perfectly blocking the banner. So good placement, but also bad placement at the same time. So the Monstercon haunted house was awesome. Unfortunately, I think we might have saved the best for early in the night. I kind of wish we would have saved that for later. You can tell that they spent a lot of time in horror conventions or just conventions in general, because the very beginning looked just like some sort of convention. You were walking through the booths and everything, and then it got real crazy and real out of hand very fast. It had a lot of good scares. The scares they were kind of nerdy scares, I guess you could say. If you're not into horror, you may not enjoy the house as much as we did, but if you do like horror and conventions, you'll really get a kick out of that house. It was a lot of fun, and we are looking forward to it sticking around for a while.
Nervous, are we?
passing on by all alone. Don't you know it's dangerous around here? There's crazies out here. What do you got there? You just dropped it!
Started going through the pumpkin eater scare zone with the lantern, it started doing this. So just to give you an idea of how it interacts with the scare zones, there you go. Continuing through Old Virginia, you come to the Grimmwoods haunted house, which is an outdoor haunted house through a wooded area. You can probably imply by the name that this is based on a bunch of creepy Grimm's fairy tales. You access it going through what during the normal season would be the gift shop that leads you to Grizzly. They now have that closed off. You basically walk along the old Dinosaurs Alive trail. Jen and I are of differing opinions on this. I'm a big fan of spooky fairy tales in general, so I really kind of like this one a lot. Jen wasn't a huge fan of it. She thought that last year had a lot of empty space, so we'll see what it's like this year, see if they filled the space with scare actors or if it still has a lot of room to improve. So we thought Grimmwoods was similar to last year. They had a few more scare actors. So Jen did say that it was an improvement over what it was last year, but she still found it to not be the greatest. I thought that it was about just as good as last year. It requires a basic understanding of the stories that it's based off of, which the stories that they have in there are Little Red Riding Hood, Hansel and Gretel, and Briar Rose, which is also known as Sleeping Beauty. So as long as you have a basic understanding of those three stories, you'll pretty much understand the walkthrough, the house. There is I'll just say there's an animatronic at the end that's incredible. They brought it back from last year and it really makes the house. But in addition to that, of all the houses here, this is the one I really wish we could record or at least take pictures of, because they have some great set pieces in there and I really wish we could show them to you. But we hope you can make it here yourself so you can see them, because you won't regret seeing them. Okay, so I didn't see one of these in the Pumpkin Eater Scare Zone for some reason, but one of the additional things that the lantern does in addition to flashing is it triggers these to spew out some bubbles out of the top. So it has a couple of purposes. Tucked away back behind the Jukebox Diner, almost hidden if you don't know where to look, is Blood on the Bayou, the King's Dominion equivalent, which there are a few parks that have a Blood on the Bayou house, Dorney Park being one of them. We personally considered this in past years to be the lesser of the two between King's Dominion and Dorney, but we still enjoyed this one and we're looking forward to seeing if they've done anything different with it this year. It's basically a, well, as the name implies, it's Bayou, New Orleans themed. So yeah, it's what you would expect, a lot of swamp, a lot of alligators, voodoo. One interesting thing about this, if you stand in the traditional standby line, you first go into a room back there through this facade where they will actually take your picture and you will have the option to purchase the picture. I'm not sure whether you can opt out of actually having the picture taken or not, but even if you do have the picture taken, there's no obligation to buy. However, if you have a freight lane, which you see the freight lane sign over there in the corner, it takes you around that side of the building and you will bypass the photo altogether. So if you're not interested in the photo, that's the easiest way to skip it. So Blood on the Bayou was great as always, even though it wasn't still as good as the counterpart at Dorney Park. We really enjoyed it. They have some good hiding spots, especially the very last scare actor when we went through. It really spooked Jen, so that was kind of funny to watch. This was actually the first time that we've gone through with the lights out since we were able to visit with the lights on. We got a lights on tour, and even though we can't record this house in the dark, they did allow us to record the lights on tour. So the lights on tour I will link up in the corner of the video right now, so you can check it out if you want to see what it's actually like in there. This house is probably the goriest house of all the houses they have here, but I'm not upset about that. There's a reason that I like coming to these haunts, so I'm completely okay with the level of gore that they had in there. So thumbs up again, as usual. It's pretty much the same as every other year, but it's still a lot of fun. Going through Blood on the Bayou, the lantern, well, even though it's green now, the lantern in the house turned purple. Right near the Americana Ferris wheel, as you start to enter Candy Apple Grove, they have this huge facade of a house. And inside of the house is the Trick or Treat haunted house, which, as you may have guessed from the witch hat on the sign and the giant witch above, is themed to a witch's coven. That's kind of cool that you can actually look inside the windows of this facade. There's what sort of looks like a seance room a little bit in there. The front doorway here, that's kind of reflective in the daylight. Hopefully it'll look better at night. In years past, they've had a creepy little figure peeking out this window, but I guess they don't have it this year. A less reflective look inside the front entryway at night. Still a little bit reflective, at least you can kind of see what's going on in there.
How many more times?
Interesting that the wreath on the front door has some human anatomy on here. I wonder why the witches would need that. I rarely look at this witch from the front, now I know why. That is one creepy witch. So the Trick or Treat house was a lot of fun. Like its counterpart in Dorney Park, it had a lot of witchy spells going on in every room, a lot of moving inanimate objects that you wouldn't expect to move. There were also a ton of scare actors in there, and they hid in some of the best spots. Also, this house compared to the Dorney house is much longer, so there are a lot more rooms, a lot more chances to get scared. We really enjoyed it. And in this house, the lantern stayed the same color, but it flickered more dramatically. It went off and on more frequently, so it didn't really change color, it just changed its flashing pattern. So that was a lot of fun.
Hey, what you doing?
Whoa, whoa.
What?
Tucked away just inside of Planet Snoopy by the Linus Launcher ride is the Fear Haunted House. Last year they didn't have this sign up, so it was harder to find because they didn't have an obvious sign. What they did was they had a laser projection up on this blue rectangle up at the top. Looks like they took the screen down off of there and they put a true sign up here, which I greatly appreciate. It's much easier to find now. But if you're looking for this house, hopefully you can get inside Planet Snoopy. Just look for the Linus Launcher and you'll find your way to the house. Of the ones that are here that we went through last year, this was my favorite one. It's a house where each room is devoted to a different common fear of people, so it's kind of cool to see how they display each of those different fears. Also, as a quick reminder, before this house opens, Planet Snoopy will close in its entirety, so there won't be any kids around who don't want to be scared while this house is open. So the Fear Haunted House was a lot of fun. Like I mentioned earlier, Fear was my personal favorite last year, and it was pretty much the same this year. A small complaint is that in the very beginning you watch a short video before you actually go through the house, and the volume on that video is a little bit quiet. Kind of sets up the purpose of the house, basically about how they're trying to have you go through the rooms full of all your deepest fears, and it's hard to get that when the volume's that quiet. Essentially, I don't want to spoil the whole house, but I'll give you some examples. They have a fear of heights, fear of the dark, fear of snakes, just to name a few. There are several rooms, so they cover a lot of different fears in there. And there's a through line with a character that's haunting you throughout the whole thing, and he shows up in most of the rooms. There's a special surprise version of him at the very end, so it's a lot of fun going through that house. I hope we can go through there a second time tonight if we have enough time. And just FYI, if you're interested to know, the lantern turned a flashing rainbow in there. It changed to all kinds of colors as we walked through the house. Oh, that one's very bright. This is the second bubble machine we found. This one shaped like a skull instead of a jack-o'-lantern, so they come in multiple different forms. No wonder we've been having a hard time finding them.
Getting away. Why are you going? Where are you getting away? What are you doing? Why are you leaving us? He has spirits in his drink. Yes, he does. Why would he want to drink the spirits? Now, why would you do that? Why would you? It's not very cool. I don't drink the spirits. I feed them. Feed them what?
Where'd they go?
Looks like you can move the box.
For all your arachnophobia needs, giant spiders at night. So that'll do it for the 2024 edition of King's Dominion's Haunt. We had a great time, and we thought that the amount of scare actors and the enthusiasm of the scare actors greatly improved over last year. Everything, all of the houses were really great, the scare zones were really great. There really wasn't a dud this year that we felt. Of course, you know, some are better than others, that's always how it's going to be, but even the lesser houses were still great. And again, the scare actors really make this as good as it is. The scare actors are spectacular. We thought that Monstercon was a really exciting new addition. It was Jen's favorite house, she said, of the year. Mine was still Fear. I still like Fear better than Monstercon, but Monstercon is probably a close second for me. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out if you have the opportunity to come here. And if you can afford the $40 for the lantern, we had a lot of fun with it. It serves multiple purposes. You can find other lanterns to make your lantern change color when it's set to the green setting that Jen has it on now. It'll change colors in the scare zones and the houses, and it'll also trigger those bubble machines. It's kind of a shame that we only found 2 bubble machines, but at least we found a couple and it was fun to make it work on those. So we hope you enjoyed seeing everything that King's Dominion had to offer this year for their haunt. If you did, we'd appreciate it if you give the video a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel. If you like and subscribe, it's a big help to the channel. Also, please be sure to check out our Instagram page, which is appearing right near the Monstercon sign right now. Right below that is our Threads handle. And then right underneath of Jen is our email address. Please be sure to send us any questions, comments, concerns, constructive criticism. We check it all out and we appreciate any feedback you give. So thanks a lot for watching.
Thanks for watching, but the fun's not over yet. Click the box in front of my face for another fun video, or click my tree to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss another video.